Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3 back with another kicking action figure review. Today we are looking at the Iron Man 2 concept series Hypervelocity armor from Hasbro. Yes, the Iron Man 2 3 3/4 inch line is my favorite 3 3/4 inch line of all time. And a big reason for that is actually the concept series figures. They are my favorite figures in the line. This being one of them, the Hypervelocity armor. I love the colors, I love the sculpt, I love everything about it. So let's zoom out and get into it. So as you can see, he stands pretty well without a stand, which the concept series figures actually stand a lot better than like the movie and comic series because they don't have to worry about accurate feet or anything. They can design the feet more practically. So a lot of the concept series figures, including some you'll see in future reviews, just have straight up bigger, better feet. So they stand and often pose in general a lot better because they aren't as held back by things like accuracy. They can just make up their own designs. And this is one of my favorites. I specifically love these little holes in the arms. I always imagined he would shoot like little darts out of that. I don't know. But I just really love this armor. It's sleek but angular. I really, really like the kind of boxed head almost, like a box head, froggy. Pretty cool. You see you almost have these jetpack-like protrusions on the back. Still has a nice little peg hole for accessories and a flight stand. Still, you can see the joints have sculpting in them to make them look more mechanical so they blend in more. Really, really cool. Unfortunately, I have to sell this guy. I'm selling off my whole 3 3/4 inch collection, and this is one of the Iron Man figures I was saving for last to sell because, wow, I really love him. I mean, fully painted on the back. There are no repulsors sculpted into the bottom of the feet. I think the peg holes are just supposed to serve as that. But the repulsors on the hands are both painted. You know, you got the arc reactor here fully painted, eyes painted, everything painted. And it's such a unique kind of burgundy-ish, but lighter than that red with some metallicness to it and some kind of gunmetal with like a hint of rose in it. It's a very interesting coloration for Iron Man that I actually really, really like. God, I am gonna miss this figure. If you want to buy it, definitely check out my stores in the links down below. I don't know if he'll be on eBay or in my physical store in Georgia yet, but you can check to see, I guess. Articulation-wise, you have side to side on the head. Oh, it popped off. It could have a lot better up. There's kind of no excuse for this guy's head sculpt not being able to go up and give him a good kind of flight pose. I mean, the advanced armor and Arctic armor have it. He's a concept series armor. You can kind of do whatever you want with him, so he should be able to look up for a flight pose. He just straight up should be. That is bad. You have up and down on the arms. These shoulders don't hinder as much as they look like they would. This one kind of goes over and this one goes under. It's very odd. So this one kind of hinders and that one doesn't. So you just kind of have to tuck it when you do the articulation and then it won't hinder. But you got a rotation and everything, a single bend, swivel, and then a big gauntlet rotation instead of on the hand, which I think really works for this sculpt. Really great torso articulation for a 3 3/4 inch figure. You have in and out on the legs. If you turn the joint, you can also do forward and back because you have that thigh swivel as well. This joint's not as tight as others. He can kick back some, but he has a very poppin' hard plastic pussy, so he can't kick back as much as you might want him to, but he has a fantastic double knee bend with that sculpted articulation that I pointed out earlier, as well as a much better up and down on the feet than most figures. It doesn't really kick back much, but woof, look at that. And a rotation as well. So yeah, the articulation here is much better than usual. And then we have accessories. First up is the stand, which pegs into his foot just fine. And he doesn't even really need a stand. But it's good that it's included, because I used to do this Hall of Armors display where I had all my 3 3/4 inch Iron Man lined up, and they've just been in storage for years, so it's time to sell them, unfortunately. Selling off the whole collection, you know. First off, living in Atlanta is not cheap. And second, I have a rule. Buy a figure, sell a figure. To buy a new figure, I have to sell an old one. It's to save space. So, sorry, something's got to go. But all these Iron Man 2 cards came with these armor cards, which does not have accurate colors on it at all. I actually think I'd like it less if it was these generic colors. But the armor cards were mix and matchable. Yeah, so you could take like his torso, but then like the Mark IV's legs, and then Ironmonger's head and arms, and fuse them all together to make a brand new armor, and mix and match. And it was very cool. But the cool thing about these cards is they also stand up here in the stand. So the stand isn't just for Tony Stark himself, it is also for the cards. Yeah, which made for, as I said, a great haul of armors display. Boy howdy, I am gonna miss these figures. But he also comes with a missile launcher in his colors and a design that's very like him, which pops on his arms, and it has a missile, which I have been able to keep up with all these years. God, that was a good catch. I'm very glad I have that on camera. See, Dad, I can too catch a ball. I bet I can't do it again, though. Oh, okay. let's not try our luck again. But yeah, the plastic's not super hard or anything, and you kind of put it on the top, and then it slides down some. Oh, get him off the stand. You put it on the top, slide it down some, and you're golden, pony boy. You're golden. And now let's check out everybody's favorite part. Size comparisons. So here he is with some other 3 3/4 inch Marvel lines. First up, for a figure to scale well, it needs to scale well with, you guessed it, its own line. So here on the left we have the Silver Centurion. That could be Stark or James Rhodes. God dang it. But yeah, I think he scales perfectly well with his own line. Yes, that Silver Centurion is a comic series figure, but this concept series figure goes great with it. It just looks like one of Tony's more recent armors. And then here on the right we have probably the 3 3/4 inch Marvel line is Hasbro's Marvel Universe line, which was also coming out around the same time as this Iron Man 2 line, back when the 3 3/4 inch game was hard at Marvel, dude. Great stuff. This is their comic Thanos with Infinity Gauntlet, as you can see. The single-carded version, not the 2-pack version. This is also the single-carded version, not the 2-pack version. We have reviewed the 2-pack version for Marvel Universe. They just reused it for Marvel Universe. But yeah, both these figures will be getting reviews soon, and then we'll also be going on sell themselves. Once again, I don't want to sell them. Silver Centurion is my favorite classic armor, and then Thanos, the Infinity Gauntlet, was one of the first big Marvel stories I ever read, and it was awesome. So yeah, I don't want to sell them, but you do what you gotta do. Plus, I want that big deluxe classic Thanos, so I gotta sell off Thanos, get the new Thanos, you know? But yeah, he scales well with other 3 3/4 inch figures, including his own line. And just for reference sake, here he is with a 6-inch Hasbro Marvel Legend. It is the Kane Scarlet Spider from the SPDR Build-A-Figure Wave. And if you're the type of person that doesn't care about scale and you just display all your Marvel stuff together, this is what he'll look like with your 6 inches. Yes, I know, he doesn't scale well with him, but if you don't care about scale, ta-da! So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Hasbro Iron Man 2 Concept Series Hypervelocity Armor Iron Man? It's one of my favorite Iron Man figures that I have ever had. Honestly, I love this guy. I think he's great. I wish I could keep him in my collection forever, but hey, you know how it is. You can't keep everything forever. Sometimes something's gotta give, and today what's giving is Iron Man. One of my favorites. I really wish that this sculpt would get the 6-inch Marvel Legends treatment, but as a concept series, I know that it won't, you know? The most popular comic and movie armors will always come back and get refurbished eventually. But these concept series, unless they just reuse the molds they already have for 3 3/4 inch stuff, which they probably won't because these are more expensive molds to use because of their heavy articulation, we're never going to see it again. It does have a repaint out there that I never had, unfortunately. Would be cool to have someday, but why would I go buy more 3 3/4 inch when I'm selling these? But it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite 3 3/4 inch Iron Man figures I've ever had. One of my favorite Iron Man figures that I have ever had. And I really wish this was a more official armor, because it is one of my favorite armors of all time. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, etc. Check out the links down below. And on Instagram, I post everything I'm selling, whether it's on eBay or in my physical store. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll know where everything is. Thank you all once again. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.